This is the Infinium Omniview Central Station Patient Monitoring Program. We have a wired central station and a wireless central station available. A watchdog is needed for the central station to run properly. Without a watchdog, the central station will only run for 10 minutes for demo purposes. Using 4 screens, the maximum monitoring capacity is 64 beds. Each screen will display 16 beds. When using only one screen, the capacity options are 16 beds, 8 beds, and 4 beds. In this demonstration, we will be using 4 beds. Double-clicking on the parameter window will allow you to enter the bed setup menu. Here, you can manually enter the patient info and upload this info to the patient monitor. If the info has already been entered on the patient monitor, click Retrieve Patient Data. If the monitor has the patient info and is already connected before launching the central station, the patient info will be retrieved automatically. The parameter info setup is used to select the 4 parameters that are displayed on the primary window. Parameter alarm setup is used to set each parameter's high and low alarm. They can also be synchronized with the settings on the monitor using the Retrieve or the Send options. Under Waveform Info Setup, the first 2 channels are displayed on the primary window. The label must match the corresponding label on the monitor. So in this example, channel 1 is ECG2. ECG2 will also need to be displayed on the patient monitor. The 5 View Bed wave channels will be displayed when entering the View Bed window. This window will be demonstrated later. Sensor Alarm Setup is the central station's alarm. This setting will not affect the alarm switch on the patient monitor. Monitor Function Setup is used to change certain monitor settings. Clicking on the Bed label will bring up the View Bed window. Here you can see the other 5 waveforms that were selected. You can also see the rest of the parameters not displayed on the main window. The first view is the Waveform View. You can also select Trend Graph View or Trend Table View. The print icon prints the current trend table for the patient. Speaker option turns the current channel's alarm audio on or off. The NIBP icon starts or interrupts an NIBP measurement. Clicking this blue arrow will close the View Bed window. The first icon with a question mark is the Help button. Hovering the mouse over each icon will show you the name of the icon. Clicking the Help button will lead you to the user manual. The second icon is the Alarm History Review. Simply click and enter to review all the alarms in the history. You can filter the list by patient name. Clicking the Print button will print the current table. The third icon is Report Print. The patient's View Bed window needs to be opened first, then clicking Report Print will print all reports for this patient. The fourth icon is Patient History Review. Browse and select the patient's folder. Then select the patient and click Read. The viewing options are Trend Graph, Trend Table, and Waveform. Under each viewing option, you can select the parameters for viewing. Here, the Print button will print the current content. The System Setup button will bring up the Setup menu. This is where you can enter the hospital information. Work path setup is the storage path for all patient data. HL7 service can be enabled when HL7 function is needed to send patient data from the central station to the hospital's EMR system. After turning the HL7 service on, click HL7 Setup to set the template type, transmitting time interval to upload waveforms or not. The remote address will be the IP address of the EMR server. The central station's computer will also need to have the IP address in the same segment as this remote IP. The speaker's default setting is on. Click to turn the sound off, click again to turn it back on. The last button, Queue HL7, is the HL7 query menu. Here you can browse the HL7 data stored in this computer. All HL7 data will be stored simultaneously when being sent. This is the Exit button. One click will bring up the System Quit window. The system will exit after the correct password is entered.